Hello and welcome to Kicktalk Reboot. On tonight's programme we have action from the Scottish Premiership, sponsored by Ladbrokes, as Kilmarnock took on Celtic at Rugby Park. Stuart McConnell will be joining us from the stadium. And I was at the junior football tonight covering Kilwinning versus Largs Thistle. But now it's over to Stuart McConnell, who was at Rugby Park in a pulsating 2-2 draw.
Welcome to Rugby Park, where the final score in this Ladbrokes SPFL Premiership match was Kilmarnock 2, Celtic 2. Killing into this game in the back of two successive defeats, and pressure being put on the manager Gary Locke, and a couple of inept performances. Against the Celtic team in the crest of a wave, but who seemed to feel they were lacking opposition. However, they were answered tonight by kind of a very galvanised Killie side. Just less than 2 minutes into the game, the Hoops took the lead. Was sort of a really good finish from Griffiths after he had been latched on to a Chris Commons free kick, and he bundled the ball into the net. After this, Celtic kind of really did crank up the pressure, and McDonald had to make a couple of vital saves from Thomas Rogic and also from Griffiths again as they sort of piled on the pressure. Then Josh McGuinness had a great opportunity for Killie, the former Aberdeen striker. Open goal on the half hour, contrived to shoot over the bar from 10 yards with only the Scotland goalie Craig Gordon to beat. However, a couple of minutes, 2 minutes from half time, it was all square. And this time McGuinness atoned for his earlier miss, and he cut across his marker and sort of crashed the ball beyond Gordon and into the net. McDonald, who was rightly man of the match, made a stunning reflex save 30 yards out from near Bitton. However, there's nothing he could do. A minute later, as the same player lashed a shot from 30 yards beyond him and into the net. McDonald then sort of saved well from Griffiths 5 minutes later. Celtic looking as if they're trying to add their tally, and Griffiths then shot wide in 77 minutes as they were sort of trying to get a killer third goal. Time, however, in 86 minutes proved the game's turning point when the very impressive young sub Aaron Spillane had been signed from Queenless South and was bundled down inside the box by Izaguirre, and up stepped former Partick Thistle man Callum Higginbotham to cheekily chip the spot kick beyond the Celtic goalie and into the net, and to provide a point from a most unlikely source for the Rugby Park outfit. So this was quite a ding-dong battle, especially in the second half. Killie will be hoping to put the disappointments for the first two results behind them. The doom and gloom is perhaps a bit lifted from Rugby Park tonight, from where the final score was in the Ladbrokes SPL match was Kilmarnock 2, Celtic 2. This is Stuart McConnell for Kicktalk.
And thanks to Stuart McConnell for his reports from the Kilmarnock Celtic match tonight. I was at Abbey Park, where the score in this Ardagh Cup Section 1 clash was Kilwinning Rangers 5, Largs Thistle 0. Now this may well have been a surprise scoreline, but it was fully merited by a Kilwinning side who were utterly dominant and could have scored many more. There were early chances for both sides. Hanvey headed wide for Buffs and James Marks hit the side netting for Largs, but Kilwinning were beginning to impose their authority. Player manager Chris Strain's shot was deflected onto the bar by Gary Fleming's foot as Ben Lewis headed the rebound wide. The home side opened the scoring as the Largs defence was outnumbered. Lewis fired home from Hanvey's cross on the right in 20 minutes, and then Hanvey's clever chip from the right edge of the box just evaded the left post. Thistle were furious that a foul wasn't awarded, as they claimed Frizzell was impeded as he burst through in goal. Despite the attentions of that defender, he fired in a shot which keeper Adam Strain saved. And Kilwinning went right on the attack and caught Largs off guard, adding a second as Brian Boylan headed home. Kilwinning were dominant and they made it 3 in 42 minutes as Hanvey's whipped in low diagonal drive bounced into the net off the right hand post. The Buffs attacked right from kick-off. Largs keeper Matthews denied Kilwinning time and again, making some super stops, the best of which coming from Calvin Kemp. And Kemp also put in a thumping effort off the right-hand junction of the bar. Boylan also hit the post with a header, and then things went from bad to worse for Largs as Fleming saw red for a second caution midway through the second half. Thistle was struggling to make any impact, youngster Larry Davidson going close with a 20-yarder which trailed past the left post. Kilwinning were ever hungry to add to the lead, and they made it 4 with Ian Cashmore's free kick on 83 minutes, and the route was complete as Cashmore headed home at the far post from Fleeting's cross on the left. All in all, a ruthless display from Kilwinning. They looked like they could score it well at times. As for Largs, a very painful defeat. Manager Brian Slavin took to Twitter after the game to say, "It's not what happened tonight that will define our season, but how Largs Thistle will react to it from now on." Final score at Abbey Park: Kilwinning Rangers 5, Largs Thistle 0. And now we go round the grounds. In the other Section 1 clashes, Winton Rovers were surprisingly held by Dalry. Ryan Caddis opened the scoring on 25 minutes for the Drawson side, but were pegged back by Mark Archdeacon's 70th minute strike. Dalry were down to 10 men for the final 22 minutes of this encounter after Cameron McClucky's red card. Beath beat Kilbirnie 2-0 with goals from McClucky and Reid. Kilwinning topped the group though on 6 points. Into Section 2, Halford triumphed 6-2 over Oven Vicks, and Oven Meadow racked up a 5-0 scoreline over Saltcoats. Graham McGovern putting Meadow 1-0 up. The other 4 goals came in the second half from Paul Maxwell, Liam Finnegan, Chris Wilson and Chrissy Hall. Darvo bounced back from a 9-goal hammering at the weekend to Halford as they beat Ardagh away 2-0. Jackson Bigger and Murray Johnson scored the goals for them. But on Section 2, it's Meadow who are just clear at the top over Halford on goal difference. In Section 3, Premiership Troon needed 2 late goals to overcome Whitlets. Adam Forsyth opened the scoring for Troon on 50 minutes. Adam Balfour equalised, and Craig Harvey and Colin Spence scored late on for Troon to seal the win. Anbank hit Craig Mark for 6 in the other group game, and Govan shocked the higher league opponents Maybole 3-1, and that's good preparation for their Scottish Cup tie on Saturday. Troon are leading the way with Section 3 on full points. In Section 4, Luga overcame Kilmarnock thanks to own goal in one of the shock results of the night, finishing 1-0. Glenafton beat Kello 2-0, and rampant Talbot hit a magnificent 7 against Muirkirk, who scored 1 in reply. It's a 3-way tie as Auchinleck, Glenafton and Luga share top spot with 6 points, but Talbot are top of the pile on goal difference. And that's a wrap on our second Kicktalk Reboot of the season. Thanks for joining us and see you at the weekend. Goodbye.